It's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors again. You know, one of the most enjoyable things for me out in the woods is a hot beverage. Coffee is probably my favorite for being out in the bush. But coffee is not always the easiest thing unless you have instant or some type of bag. You know, we just talked about the Cujo from BattleBox that got introduced. But what if you want to brew your own coffee? Well, I know there's guys out there that shows you how to do great big amounts of that, but I'm going to try to show you today how to do it when it's just one or two people. Hang tight. All right, guys, what I got here is the Silver Fire Scout bush pot, right? It's a bush stove. Man, I reviewed this one 6-7 years ago, maybe. I can't remember how long it's been, but Todd Albee from Silver Fire sent this. This is our introduction to Silver Fire because you guys all said that we should check out this gasification stove. And out of all the ones that we have ever, and I'm talking about ever, I've not seen a better one since, but everything is packed down right inside of here. And what I'm doing here is making sure that I'm not going to catch the forest floor on fire because I was irresponsible. But this is built in such a way it shouldn't because of its design, but it comes with a foldable spork, which is pretty cool. Comes with a ferro rod striker, magnesium rod, and this is pucka wood, I believe. You could use this for tinder, but I'm going to use fat wood today. I'm just going to sit this up here for now, and that as well. And this is how this stove comes together. That's it right there. That is your gasification stove. And the way that these work is that your primary combustion happens right here, right? And when you slip it down inside of this double-walled sleeve that allows oxygen to come in through the bottom, and then the superheated gases come out through the wall, and you get a secondary burn. So you're getting double your bang in regards to energy that you are burning. So it's very efficient compared to those that are just primary burn stoves. Okay, that's it right there. And I'm going to grab some fat wood. There's fat wood right there. Okay. All right, get me a nice little bit going here. I'll also get some shavings off of this, like so. You see that nice red amber color? That's all resin. That's all that pine resin. That's why those forests out in the northwest territories, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, that's why they go up so fast, because of this stuff right here, those pine trees that are there. Okay. Now we're making coffee today out here. I think that I'm going to go ahead and get this end off like that. Here's my ferro rod, and I'm going to take these small little twigs. That's how we start this out in this gasifier stove. You could even use some really dry leaves in there to get it going. Got to make sure they're dry though. We haven't had any big rains around here lately, so a lot of this is still super dry. That'll kind of hold everything together for me. When I strike that ferro rod down in there. All these little dusty shavings are your friend. You don't want to get rid of those. They allow the air to go through the fat wood so your fire triangle is successful. Alright, just got to be a little patient here. Right, hard for me to anchor myself, but I'm going to anchor my right arm as best I can here and then draw with my left. Almost. Let those all burn down. Use your smaller twigs first. In these you want to start off with something like a pencil lead. You can see why. Okay, in order to use this stove, you can't have stuff sticking up like it is right now, so all this has to burn down. It's too long. So I'm going to let that do that. I can move this out of the way. There you go. Get that seated in there. Put these in like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is pour our water in. And you don't want it all the way to the top. You want it about 3/4 of the way, because it's going to boil and you don't want your coffee boiling over, right? And our coffee is not in the bag. It is. All right, so I don't have any way to measure. I guess I could measure it with this. Oh, that dude came apart. Ain't that something special? No, it didn't. Okay, so here we go. All right, I'm gonna just sprinkle this in across the top. Gonna sprinkle this in a little more here. Sprinkle a little bit in here, a little bit. Okay. Then you can see the gasification happening here. So we could put more twigs in. Like I said, you don't want them sticking above the top of the burners. I'm hoping you can see the gasification of this. This is by far the best bush stove that we have ever reviewed. I'll never get rid of this. A lot of stuff we pass on. Okay. Now what you want to do is just put your coffee right on there, and then you can continue to put little sticks in like so. That's what this is all about. Now there are those that make bush coffee by using a tripod or a swing arm. And those are all good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you don't have that, what are you going to do? Well, you do what I'm doing. Yeah, this sucker's really burning here. It'll get to a point where I can't put my hands in it anymore, boys and girls. Okay. Okay. What you want to do is you want it to come to a boil. During that boiling process, it releases all the good flavor. Just got to keep an eye on it. You don't want it to overboil. That's the key to keep it from getting bitter. Keep an eye on it. Now I did clear the area out here for the most part, down to where the ground was nice and cool and wet. Well, it's not wet, but it's damp. But it's a precaution because I've never started the forest floor on fire with the Silverfire gasifier, any of them that I've used, because it has a built-in ash pan. I mean, you got all this area down here that is allowing fresh oxygen to come in from 360 degrees all the way around. I'm hearing it. He's starting to talk in there a little bit. The key to using these is making sure that you're using biofuels only. Something that's biodegradable, and you can use not only chips of wood and leaves and forest floor debris, but you can also use dung, like dried cow dung. The key is that it's dried, and I have a video out there with me doing that. See that gas fire, how that's doing that? That's why it's burning like it is, because of the gasification. There's nothing like coffee out in the bush that's done right. What you do is you bring that to a nice rolling frothy boil, and then just kind of reduce the heat from it. And if you have got a tripod, you can lift up your pot that way, or a swing arm, anything, a fulcrum. But when you're talking about one of these pots, you got to let it die down like that. Okay, now obviously I can hear it in there. It's doing its thing, but it's not boiling like I want. So I'll quickly do this. Stick that down in there. We'll get that going again. sure you can't hear that. It's trying to boil. Starting to. Getting that yummy chocolatey color to it. Oh yeah. I'm going to let it go for just a little while longer. Now a pot this size, you know, you're going to get a good, you can have either one good cup or probably 3/4, maybe half of 2 cups. So if you're wanting more coffee, you're going to have to bring a bigger pot. But you saw how big this was when I put it away. I mean, the footprint of this inside your bag is almost 0. All right, you see what's happening there? We're going to let that go for 1 minute like that. Alright, it's 1 minute, so I'm taking this off. And I'm just going to let it sit here and settle for a minute. And while that's doing that, I'm going to get my cup. What's happening is those grounds are sinking right now down to the bottom, and you know it's not going to be perfectly ground free. See what I did? I got me a little sugar and creamer in a little bag right there. Hello Dolly. I don't mind black coffee, but I truly enjoy some cream and sugar. Bam. Bam. All right, let's just see what this looks like. I'm going to lose some, I can tell. No grounds. You see that? No grounds. That's right. You want to heat it up, just put it right back up there. Alright, this is Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine. That's your bush coffee. It's really easy. You don't have to have a great big pot. Just got to remember, you put it in, put your coffee in while it's cold, let it float on top, bring it to a boil for about a minute, then you can remove it off. After that, let it cool. you're drinking cowboy coffee, boys and girls. Till next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and enjoy your coffee.